Hi, hello, and welcome to a video that's a little bit different because today we're actually looking through all my old sketchbooks. Now, ignore the setup. I'm at my parents' place for the summer, which is why I have access to all my old sketchbooks. It also means that I'm recording a little bit jankly, but it shall have to do. Now, I will skip through some of this because middle school me and elementary school me did not think I would ever be recording these, really, so I kind of just like doxed myself full on in a lot of these. But we'll go through the highlights, and I'll try to keep it in order, but, you know, we'll see how it goes. I've loved sketchbook tour videos for years. You know, I put that stuff when I'm in bed. I close the video and I go, good art. You know? Now it's my time to start paying it back. Unfortunately, I take very long to fill up sketchbooks, so I don't have anything recent. Because the sketchbook I'm working on, I've been working in since like 2022. Yeah, it is nearing its end though, to be fair. Right, starting strong, this first one, I believe it's from around like 2013, maybe a little bit earlier. So I would have been like in 5th grade, around 10. 9 to 10. This is what it's like. Now, I believe that originally I left it just black, but in middle school, I went over it and decided to draw. And that was a mistake. Never give a middle schooler a blank sketchbook and a silver Sharpie. It's not gonna end well. Okay, we're now a little bit further, which should be better for looking at these. Right, I will not show you the cover because there's straight up just like my full name on there, but beavers, they eating up a tree with a little bird. Riveting content. If you ever see something with like a sun jump in quality like this, that's because my dad drew it. He used to draw a lot more, mostly like landscapes and then like naked women, so you know, this was one of his 2 specialties. But anyways, yeah, a lot of these I actually remember, maybe because I didn't draw that frequently in here. Here we've got important instructions, you know, something you would not want lost to history. The special S! A gift I drew with one of those, the classic artist kits that like every artist has gotten in their life, where it's like a big case and you have a bunch of different mediums, but it's the worst quality of all of them, so you try them. Turns out the quality of you were using was just so bad that it tainted your experience. Anyways, moving on. I think this was supposed to be a portrait of my grandpa. These were Pokemon. I was trying to like make Pokemon designs. This one kind of ate, considering, I did this that long ago. Oh, I drew like Iron Man, Thor's hammer, the eye. Everyone has, if you've been drawn for at least a little bit, everyone at some point, they gotta have the eye, the classic. I had a phase where I drew like lobsters, always basically in the same pose, but I drew some like in space, in water. Same with the squirrels. I drew the guinea pigs. We had guinea pigs and I drew them. Fairy, elephants that my dad shaded. You could kind of tell. Dolphin, shark, you know, these are pretty. This is when I saved my money, I got myself the Prismacolor Scholars. It was like a back to school time, so I got them on sale. And this is a little old lady that says, "I'm not what you think." Why? Don't know. The squirrel face begins. Buckle your seatbelts, fellas. Squirrel. I tried a squirrel. I gave up on that squirrel. Scuba diving squirrel. Candy. Creepy guinea pigs. Dog. That is not how you write chickadee, but I got cardinal, I guess. Like, oh, Christmas tree, okay. You could see I erased like a rainbow dash and Fluttershy here. I guess I didn't like them. One thing I used to do in like middle school, where we would like take lined sheets of paper and only draw every other line, and then it looked like it was like behind lines. Swan. Like I said, I'm probably gonna remove a lot of this because I want to make a lot. Oh my god. Well, portrait of my brother where I tried. He does not look like that, nor did he back then. But I tried. Lightsaber, but I wrote it lifesaver. Don't know if that was intentional or not, but I think I started doing R2-D2. Kind of stopped. The sun jumping skill between those is kind of impressive. Anyways, yeah, this was like a pirate ship and weed thing I had in a fish tank years ago. In my comic era, there was like this superhero, I think. The SpongeBob. Apparently I drew this when I was 12 and a half. That's what I wrote, 2016. I think this is after I watched Glitter Force. I tried to like draw in that style on Netflix. Cat. Miraculous Ladybug. Okay, so this should have been middle school at this point. Yeah, 2016 was middle school. Late middle school, I think it was in like 8th grade. I would have been like 12, 13. That's when I first watched Miraculous before more of it came out and it got really bad. Force. Face. Cat. And then that's it. I will not flip because that is a personal message that I just taped in there. Second sketchbook. This one is a pain in the butt to look through, even when I'm not filming it. Because I decided to start it on one side, and then I got upset, and I didn't like it anymore. So I was like, let me start over from the other side, which is why I made this cover. Every story has 2 sides. Like, okay, bro. Who asked? 2017 to 2019 is this one, apparently. And I finished, like, super early in 2019. So this one mostly 2017, 2018, I believe. Christmas landscape, I guess. I tried to do, like, a collage dress type of deal. A penguin. A horse. When I was younger, I used to mostly draw animals and landscapes. That's mostly what I did when I did painting. Because I used to take acrylic painting classes. And, yeah, you can kind of tell. And practice. In middle school, like 8th grade, no. A lie. In high school, I really got into playing otome games, which are like usually Japanese. Not always, but like it's kind of a style which usually... Little spider, that one's kind of cute still. Often dating games, and I like to play them and make fun of them. But even though sometimes I found the concepts really goofy, I still like the design. So sometimes I drew them. Sometimes I also drew them to make fun of them, so. This was when I read the book Station 11. It is a really good book. I still have it. I've read it like 3 times now, I think. Pony OC, because, yep. I briefly got into Epic 7 before I knew what gacha games were. And then I realized this was gacha, and I didn't like the fact that you had to pay to win characters, so I stopped. This one of the drawings that haunts me to this day. Most of them I'm like, well, you know, I had to make a bad drawing to make the better drawing today. But this, bro, when I tell you there's indeed, like, it haunts me. It haunts me! This. Start of a Wolf. I think I watched like a horror version of like Red Riding Hood or something like that. I was like, let me draw a wolf. See, this is a lot better than the other stuff from around that time, and you could tell. You could tell. Animals were my thing. This is around the time where I really wanted to like improve at drawing anime stuff. Whether I did is debatable, but I sure tried. Okay, here we flip. Gee. That's me. That's, thank you for that. Okay. Here we have, like, Shadow Hunter runes, because, I liked Mortal Instruments, because of course I did. Oh. Am I not? Okay, well. I'll just flip the footage. I can't be doing this. rock wizard. These were just like sketches and whatever. It's around the time that I started like writing stories, so I wanted to like plan out visuals for yeah. It's when I got Copics for Christmas. It was like the thing I got that Christmas because those are so expensive. Dragon wings because I really like dragons and stuff. Yep. Again, designed from a game I don't remember. I just know it was from one of those goofy games. But I kind of like the design even though the game was not great. Finished January 8th, 2019. Because I have a pothos, which is like a droopy plant by the windowsill, and it falls onto my desk. I like the way it looks, but sometimes when I water it, the droplets will like fall onto me, and I'm like, where? And I'll be like, why am I wet? And then I remember, and then we're all good. This one doesn't have too much. I didn't quite finish it. I just at some point was like, yep, this is done. Feet practice. You know what? Tell me something. Why is it when I practice hands, nobody bats an eye? But practice feet and society goes wild. Society. I think I was trying to draw John from Unordinary. There is a point where I returned to the sketchbook after years, so I think this was like high school. I think I was trying to draw like fairies, like a mermaid in a jar. I just gave up because Crayola super tips are not very easy to draw. Wait, what? These hands are kind of eaten though. Yeah, I've come like a year later. It's apparently 2020. Wait, hold up. These hands are eating though. Hold up. Okay, I see you. Yeah, and there's nothing else. I said I was going to finish that sketchbook. I lied. Next is an even bigger one. I don't even know how I'm going to fit this one. This is going to be a pain. Fortunately for me, there's not too many pages. Elephant. Girly. Also, I put a piece of fabric to cover my desk because it's not very cute. There's a bunch of like paint stains and stuff. And, it's slipping around. I'm not having the best time with that strategy. I'll have to show it from the side. I literally can't fit it because of the wall that's like right there. Turtle. Cat. Oh my. You know what? I'm just gonna keep this to the side, I think. Okay. Fairy. Cat. Whoa. Girly with note powers, I guess. Flowers. Okay. A very faint cat sketch on the other side you could barely see. This. 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 I think these were like OC things. I was not like in a particularly emo phase or anything. Horse. Horse. I think it's supposed to be a mermaid by the... I'm assuming by the like... what I think are like scallop shells. I can entirely tell. I think I tried doing something here. This. Unicorn. Another down. Now we get to smaller ones, finally. Easier to wield around. These are really cheap and they kind of fall apart. They're like even cheaper than my other ones. I don't know if I picked these up in the right order. I was like planning ideas for drawings in here, I believe. Horse. Ah! My bad. Horse. Horse. Cat. Horses. I was practicing horses. Wolf. Emo. This was a D&D character, I believe. So was this flowers? I think I was working on the same character for multiple pages. Ta-da. Okay, I've got to stop doing that every time I hit this webcam. The filming the setup is not optimal. However, yeah, this sketchbook actually came before the last one. Whoops. However, like I said, this is the setup we're dealing with. So, you know, we do what we can with what we got. And that's life. Cat. Drawing my cat a lot. Okay, that's not bad. These are not that bad. Again, I think I was drawing designs from those games that I mentioned. That I did not particularly like the games necessarily that much. Oh, I remember not being a fan of that one at the time. Trying to work on OCs. A lot of these are nothing too crazy, to be honest. So I'll just like go through them pretty quickly. And then there's just this one, which is way more detailed than everything else. And I remember spending a lot of time on in like Christmas, on Christmas Eve one year or something. Okay, I kind of like that color scheme, not gonna lie. I was maybe onto something. I think this is around the time I like discovered watercolor or whatever. Okay. On we go. I'm pretty sure I only did the cover of this when I was like done the sketchbook and had started moving on to the next one. So it's kind of better than most of the stuff in the sketchbook. But yeah, all right. Fifth one. We got Dimitri from Fire Emblem on the cover, which I actually kind of still like that. The art's really not that, like, it's actually pretty solid. There's a lot of words in this one, and this is when I was practicing calligraphy with brush pens. So, okay, these kind of ate. And it's also when I started getting into drawing really weird stuff, like Pablo the Penguin as Pablo from Backyardigans as Michael Jack. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know what was going through my mind. There's a lot of OC stuff, I'd say. A lot of calligraphy. Handsome Squidward. Yeah. There's this art YouTuber I used to really like named Talart. I think all their videos are gone now, unfortunately. But I used to really like their stuff, and they did this challenge where they were like going over prompts, and they just drew them. And I also decided to draw them. I studied cloaks. I will move my sketchbook here. That way we get a little bit of a better view. The plant really wants to be in the video, I fear. Buddy. It's fine. Oh, I was also drawing like the cursed, like free German emojis. Parallel. There's this one artist that I started liking in like 2018, 2019 called Parallel with like an O in there. I'll put the username on screen. Years ago on Instagram. They've now grown like even more popular, which I'm glad because they're very good artists. Like they've only gotten better with time, and I would recommend you check their stuff out if you don't know them. But yeah, sometimes you could see in my sketchbooks, it'll come up later again, I believe, where I just practice doing their style because I really like how they draw stuff. Still do to this day. Yeah. I also got into K Project around this time, so that's sketches. This, I'm not gonna get into details too. There's a long story behind that. family friends, their cat had kittens. That was one of them. A cat in a tank blowing up a tree. Cat versus birch. I don't know what that means. And then we got monkey knife fight. Okay, nice. There is nothing behind that apparently. Okay, I don't know why it's upside down, but I'm pretty sure I was trying to draw like the anime version of the dating game Colonel Sanders. Okay, this is all like OC stuff that I was trying to plan for a D&D campaign. So that's what that is. Their body is just like smoke. So, oh, long Furby, very nice. Oh boy. Very buff Minecraft horse with Crocs, because why not? Story planning. I storyboarded an entire animation that I didn't end up doing. Fan animation of K Project. It was the blue and red king fighting. Okay, I kind of made this up though, not gonna lie. Okay, it's Ed and Al from Full Metal Alchemist. Random OC. Okay, up here we got something that looked like a wand, and then we got CL from Black Butler and Lelouch from Code Geass, or Zero, you know, whichever you want to go for. Okay, the plant really wants Lancelot from Code Geass. Ah! Slipped. Okay, I cannot start going every video. We're moving past that. We're also moving past this one. I might even blur these for your own sake. They're a little bit too cringe. They're nothing crazy per se. They're just cringe. And I'd like to save that. Okay, more OC stuff. Design for an inside joke. Tamaki from Orin High Schoolers Club. A D&D character that I never ended up playing. The same character. They're Ace and Arrow. Like, he's Ace and Arrow. So, since you're drawing the meme at the time, I lied. I don't actually like sex. Now put your clothes back on and sing Crazy Frog. This is... I fear the context isn't gonna save it anyway, so I'm not gonna try. I wanted to draw Pokemon Trainer Ed, which I believe I did include at some point in here. Yes, I did. Oh. Okay, let's try to draw OC stuff. If they look traumatized, it's because they are, and they still are. I just draw them less. Okay. Ah! Sorry. I'm gonna have to turn that down. I can't be screaming like that. Angel from Angel Beats. Okay, now this... Read this section. I'm gonna have to preface this by saying... does anyone know the YouTuber Edvasion? I still love his stuff to this day. But when I originally found him years ago, I found him because he was drawing. He had this like Hilroy little notebook, and he would draw like from just Nightmare Things love. Okay. This is kind of goated, not gonna lie. Anyways, like he would draw like celebrities, like let's say like BTS. He would draw BTS, just like looking at him, like freehand it with Sharpies, which is what I did here. And that wasn't enough, so I did another. There's this other YouTuber, I still watch her to this day, called Jenna Moresi, who gives like writing tips. So I guess I didn't stop there. Yeah, I'm skipping this. Oh no. Yeah, I'm blurring all of these. They are too cringe. I fear they are too cringe. Okay, that one's upside down. But I think I was working on a character design. Okay, I guess this is when I started watching Toilet Bound Haneko-kan. Just trying to draw dynamic poses, probably inspired by Parallel, because that was like the #1 thing. Yeah, he's a piece of work, this OC, so like, yeah, bye, be sure not to come back, which is something he would certainly say, from what I remember. If you hear squeaking, by the way, let me just say that that is not me farting, okay? Because when I fart, I apologize. I say sorry I farted. It's just the really squeaky desk chair that I borrowed from my mom because I'm at my parents' place. Let's keep going. We're like halfway through. There's still basically another amount of what we did left to go through. So, following sketchbook, this is Shiro from K Project. Next sketchbook, this is an OC. This code is kind of eating though. Like, I remember when I first did this is kind of eating though. Like, okay. Parallel inspired eyes. Wait, this is actually not bad. I drew a character from K Project. That same D&D character OC. Okay, plant. I'm sorry, I don't want to squish you, but you can't. Studies again. A lot of this, when you see a ton of writing, I was doing studies. Okay. Hanako-kun, I study for sure. I think these are mostly either blank because I wanted to do studies. I never really ended up doing those. Stop! You're gonna get squished, plant! No! No, oh my god. I don't want to squish the plant. Shoo! Another OC. I wish I was not using, like, I've calmed down. Fortunately, I don't use sketchbooks that are this big. It probably doesn't help with the issue of, like, oh, I can't finish a sketchbook when this sketchbook is ginormous, but, you know. Gun study. I think I was planning a James cosplay when I was in, like, 11th grade or something. Right. This was... I don't need a date on this one to tell you it's 2020. Because, or like late 2019, because... Among Us. Kitty! Oh, I was drawing Coconut, my cat. So if you see something that says Coconut in the sketchbook, that's who it is. This page, yeah, when I said the tomfoolery did not stop. I still like this one a lot, not gonna lie. I've got this, and then, you know, I mentioned the Edvasion drawing. Well, I was inspired by that, and me and my friend she had a lot of K-pop stuff, and we would sit there and, like, freehand draw some of her photo cards. So these are some of these. Like, I know this is Jackson Wang. I think this is Jimin. This, I'm not sure. I know she had, like, a few Jimin and, like, a few Jackson Wang ones. I don't remember who the rest are. Also made fun of James Charles of this one, like, fan clip where he's like, bring me a little water now, bring me a little water, Sylvie. Sorry for the rendition, but, like, that's my friend's takes on it. Also drew Mystic Messenger in that style, and to be honest, yeah, I think they looked better that way. D'Angelo Wallace. I actually started watching his stuff when he did art content back then. If you did not know that, in some of his older, like, commentary videos that are unrelated to art, you can actually see his Wacom tablet, which is like a big art tablet, in the back of some of his videos. Most of these are not that inspiring. Okay, I put color on these. I drew one of the Titans. Fear not, if there's something interesting on the edge... Oh my god, Dwarf Choot. Not the Gene Morph Suit, what the hell? Yeah, I just drew what I was seeing while I was watching My Hero Academia. That's what that is. But yeah, like I said, don't worry. If there's something interesting and it's on the edge of the page, I will move to show it to you. Okay, this was, I think, supposed to be Young K from Day 6. Techwear, which I still like to this day. This was the start of my 3 houses. I was putting 3 houses builds and, like, runs in here. If you can tell I was a nerd already, it's gonna become increasingly clear throughout these sketchbooks. The plant is nerfing me right now. 3 houses fan art. This filming setup is so, like... Yeah, now we're talking about. Oh, a very scary Yosuke from Persona 4. Okay, Yukiko. Okay, we got like Fire Emblem Three Houses and Persona 4 Golden type stuff. Sketchbook 6! Now, oh my god, the plant really... Okay, that one leaf is dead. I gotta cut that off. Sketchbook 7. This was from the music video Where the Sea Sleeps, Even of Day. This was Day 6 lyrics inspired. Okay, we got a long cat. We got Pretzel Cat, I guess. Okay, we got, Yato, I think his name is, from, Noragami. Yeah, you could tell I was not a fan of that face by the fact that I wrote nah, bro, next to it. I think I was trying to draw Beto, but the results were, interesting. This sketchbook is honestly, like, uninteresting, truth be told. Oh, I was playing a card game. See, I made up a whole card game. Custom cards, custom rules. Oh. We got Kawaii Curtis Connor. Okay! Just gonna breeze through this one, because we still got a lot more to go through, and, this one is kind of, you know, nothing much to look at. You could just... Teeth. You kind of, you see it, you look quickly, and you kind of, you've seen what there is to see. In the home run, we only got 2 more left. This is another one that's kind of underwhelming. I think this is the guy from Friday Night Funkin'. A guy from Friday Night Funkin'. So, yeah, because this one is kind of underwhelming, I'm mostly just going to do like a little this action. And when there's something extra, then, you know, I'll stop. But there's not really much in this sketchbook, to be honest. So, I think a quick little look. Oh, remove that, me. That's information from when I was apartment hunting. Sketchbook 9. Experimental. I think this was supposed to be like a self-portrait. I did not have those piercings, though. I probably just added those for funsies, but... Supposedly experimental, this is. There is one. Oh, these are not that bad, to be honest. There is this... There is a sketchbook between this and... Okay, don't know why I was practicing with that word of all things. That's an interesting choice past me. There's a sketchbook between this one and the one I'm using right now. However, it is at my apartment, which I am not at because I am here during summer break. Again, this one's not... Like, there's not... Some more Persona 4 stuff. Hopefully that was interesting to watch. I don't know how long it's gonna be, but hopefully it was just the right length, you know? But yeah, like I said, I personally really like videos like this, so hopefully you enjoy it as well, if it's the type of video you like. Also, there is lead everywhere, well, graphite on my hands, because I flipped stuff. Yep. So, yeah, hopefully you enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and when I finally finish my sketchbook of, like, 3 years that I'm currently using, I am near the end of it, then I will show you that, whenever that is. I'm getting near the end of it, though, so keep an eye out, and see you next time. Bye-bye.